next segment, we're going to have Trisha Shufelt, who will be presenting The Raven and the Rook and Asleep, which are all her original poems, because Trisha Leigh Shufelt is an author, artist, and a poet of several books, including The Ghosts of Nevermore, inspired by the works of Edgar Allan Poe. Other Poe-related works include the Poe Tarot, bronze winner of a Coalition of Visionary Resources Award and Saturday Visitor Award nominee for 2022. The Poe Tarot incorporates Poe quotes and whimsical macabre images from Poe's vast body of works. She published her fifth poetry book called The Ghosts of Winterbourne, which continues her Gothic poetry style. She recently published Unearthing Nevermore, Golden Shovel Poetry, which true was inspired by Edgar Allan Poe also. She also writes dark fantasy novels under the pen name Andely Archer. You can find more information at www.artandsoul.org and follow Trisha at facebook.com, Trisha Leigh Poetry, and Leigh is spelled Leigh. So without further ado, she is going to join us on video with her own original poems.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing, Trisha. We appreciate it.
Asleep. No one saw the sparrow or heard him over the vespering din, as he took his throne above them, anointed by their sins. Yet still they called upon him with their apathetic tripe and worshipped in unconscious volition as though a sacred rite. Harbinger of peace they spouted through their salty, fervent tears, and built effigies in his honor to wall their misplaced fears. Then they went about their business, resolute in their faction, while death ruled above them, masked in duplicitous satisfaction. But lo, a stir is in the air, as salty tears turned scarlet red, and mouths of graves sprang open, calling for the dead. Not one awakened from their complicious slumbering sleep, as hell greeted his flock before rising among the sheep. Then death, now finished, stepped down from his golden throne, and hell smiled upon him for the reverence he had shown. And taking his rightful seat with an austere delight, hell bid death a grateful adieu and dismissed his evanescent flight.
Love it.
Yay! I thought she was doing, was that all of them?
Hold on.
Oh, they're different. Okay.
I think, hold on just a moment. There we go.
There it is.
Yes. Give me just a moment.
Had to go to a different spot.
Yes. And here is our next one from Trisha.
The raven and the rook take flight in the rapacious night, with their quixotic quills and wanton wills, to solemn poets' window-sills. Uncorking truths found in the walls of their muse, they scribe secrets beneath the gray paper moon. Nothing is trivial or lost, a master stroke from an epiphany, a fresh catch fished with the poisoned pen, a recipe of rhymes ripe again, calling back to some ravenous raven's rhapsody. You rook and you wraith, writhing within a writer's heart, watching and waiting for when it all falls apart. Anticipating when the well runs dry to pry and pour forevermore the ink in which we sink.
Yay.
Yay! Yes, I love both of them. It's hard to pick which one I like the best. I think
Yes.
maybe Raven and the Rook, but they're beautiful, and her artwork to go along with the poems is absolutely like spot on, just very detailed. The colors go with the words, just absolutely beautiful. And then her voice reading them is amazing.
Yeah, they have differing touches.
Yes.
So that's really good.
Absolutely. She definitely captured it, from what she wrote with the reading of it.
Yes. And she has joined us on Poem Plug to
Mhm.
read and she's read some of her works and talked
Yes.
about her works.
Mhm.
And she definitely gives us the Poe vibe.
Yes, absolutely. And cool enough, we are doing an interview with her next
Yes.
week, which will
Mhm.
probably be coming out not this Sunday, will be our next Poe Unplugged about
Right.
the mystery surrounding Poe's death. That will be published on this coming Sunday, on
Yes.
Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
And then
tomorrow.
Trisha's interview will be published the following Sunday. So we're excited about that.
Yeah. So
Yes.
it's right in line.
And Trisha will also be a
Judge for
Yes.
our poetry contest.
Yes, and she was a judge last year, and we're so happy to welcome her back and glad that she's going to be a part of this once again.
Yes, our host of judges are varied and very plethoric, but in their I don't know if that's an actual word, but I created it.
Yes.
In their visions, we have a retired university professor that's joining us this year as a judge, and we have
Yes, and he's a regular on Poe Unplugged. Yes, Dr.
We
Jeff
had
Thompson.
the pleasure of meeting him in person here.
Yes,
And it
at
was
a horror
wonderful.
movie.
Yes, at a horror movie, because he also has
At a horror theater.
a Dark Shadows influence. That's
Yes.
his noon. He has not a podcast. He has a podcast with dedications to Dark Shadows. He's written a couple books. So
Yes.
unfortunately, we weren't able to have him on today, but we wanted to give a shout out to him.
Yes, and
So, Dr. Jeff.
kind of tying into that Dark Shadows,
Mhm.
as Jeannie knows, and some of the people on Poe Unplugged know, I'm watching Dark Shadows for the first time, and I'm in season 16, and so I've still got 10-ish seasons to go.
And it's really unusual to notice and remember for those of us that aren't as old as when it first originally came out.
We weren't born yet. Yes.
Yeah, we caught up like halfway in the seasons.
Yeah.
But it's like its own gothic soap
Oh,
opera.
it is. And what I was going to mention to tying to our poetry connection is I'm into the time frame of 1897, and one of Quentin's children is named Lenore. And so I thought that was really cool. That was really cool.
It fits. I mean, there's so much crossover. Dark Shadows, why would they not, have a Poe crossover? I'm just saying.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. And what would be kind of cool is to maybe take a break for a moment and read the poem Lenore.
Yeah, that'd be good. That would definitely be a nice sequitur.
While I'm pulling that up, would you like to see if there's any comments for Trisha?
Holly said Trisha is so talented. Looking forward to her interview. And then of course, she knows Dr. Jeff, says Dr. Jeff is awesome.
Yes.
Now, we agree wholeheartedly. Ari, unfortunately, had to bow out like season. He had some child issues. Well, not really issues, child
opportunities.
Stuff.
Yes.
Child opportunities to take care of. He said he would try to get back before it ended. So that's great. I'll if I had had any children, they'd been way gone. They'd been grandchildren by now. Technically, they kind of are.
Or like me and Jeff, we have grandcats.
Yeah, grandcats.
We have grandcats.
Yeah. Cats are
And
you know,
birds, grand
Well, if you
birds.
think about it, cats are in the same area because they do yell at you in a different language
That's
that you
true.
don't understand, and you're just sitting there going, "I don't know what you want."
This is true.
So
This is true.
they do